free will, super important. The algorithm is not better than humans at making these kinds of judgments. And so I stopped being embarrassed to talk about this. And then things are actually way worse than my hyperbolic guess, because there's a very similar algorithm that's commercially available and in use around the country. But instead of predicting addiction recovery, it predicts recidivism. So if you've been arrested and put in jail, it predicts the likelihood that if you are released, you will go on to commit another crime. And these algorithms are in use in counties to make decisions about whether people are given bail or granted parole. And they are profoundly racially biased. There was a ProPublica investigation that found absolutely, if you are black, you are considered higher risk for reoffense than white people. And it's not just, oh, maybe black defendants are at higher risk. It's not that. It is incorrect in racially biased ways. So black people who are put through the algorithm are incorrectly classified as high risk twice as often as whites. And white people are incorrectly classified as low risk twice as often as blacks. And despite the fact that we know that this is biased, the algorithm is still in use, making decisions about people's liberty every day. And it highlights some of the really important ethical challenges that come with doing decision-making from AI. Because artificial intelligence has this this veneer of objectivity, right? It's math, it's data, how can it be biased? But the way that AI actually works is that it sees a bunch of examples of things that people have done in the past, and it learns to replicate that. And so if people have made biased decisions in the past, it will do that too. And here is my favorite moment when I get to talk to credit union audiences, because I get to tell you a story where we say bad things about Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo built an algorithm in the lead up to the 2008 financial crisis, where they were using the algorithm to decide if you were sent into a regular mortgage or a subprime mortgage. And the city of Los Angeles kicked off what became a nationwide investigation that found that there was profound racial bias in that algorithm, and Wells Fargo got in a whole bunch of trouble for this in their long string of things that they've gotten in a bunch of trouble for. They found that if you were black, that you were sent to a subprime mortgage 1.5 times as often as a white person with the same credit history and the same income, and twice as often if you were Hispanic. So Wells Fargo, for all their problems, knows that you cannot use race as an input into your mortgage application decision-making algorithm. So how is it that they end up with a racially biased algorithm? So race was not an input, but it turns out that zip code was. And zip code maps very closely to race in a lot of the country, especially in cities like Los Angeles, where we have traditional racial neighborhoods, sometimes the result of segregation, sometimes just the result of human behavior. And so because these algorithms learn to replicate past human decisions, they saw that in the data that Wells Fargo used, humans had made decisions that Hispanics with the same credit history, the same income as whites, deserved more subprime mortgages, and the algorithm just learned to replicate that. And so these issues of bias, of privacy, of incorrect decision-making with AI are really important as we go forward and these tools get built into the things that you use.